Hello and welcome to a review of one of the older Pogo figures from the other ones I've reviewed. For example, the Leia, the Droids, the Darth Vader. Those are newer releases. These are older ones, and it's I got it as an 8-pack of as like a bounty hunter pack. But I also got 4 other figures, including some troopers. But anyway, yeah, we have Jango, Fett, Boba Fett, and 2 Mandalorian warriors, and these 2 guys have the same weapons: long rifle, shotgun. He's got some not pistols. And he's got a black laser beam sword thing that's not a lightsaber. And then you see here, Jango, both him and Jango have these neck cloth things, and they are made of slightly thick material, and they are way too big. I think they're way too big for what they are. Look how big this is. I don't think it's meant to be that big, meant to be quite a bit smaller. And they do have face prints, so let's remove the helmets. Got a really ugly Jango Fett there. Come on. Really ugly Boba Fett. Actually, no, this one's printed okay. This face has been okay, but oh my god, that's that's like it looks like reminds me of that guy from you know those old Warner Brother cartoons, Bugs Bunny cartoons, where you have that. I'm gonna have to find a picture of it and put it on here so you know who I mean, but because I don't know the name of him, but he looks like that. He looks like that weird, sad voice guy. That looks creepy. And then finally he has a face of also that guy, but when he's older and has a bit of a scar going on. So yeah, those are those faces. Put some less light on it. There we go. Yeah. What a handsome bunch. So yeah, there we go. So I also want you guys to notice here, this guy with the jetpack. Now this happened with all the Pogo stuff with jetpacks. I've noticed that extra molding here, this molding injection thing, they didn't cut it off. So just, you know, rip it off itself. And speaking of molding, he has really bad leg mold. His white leg has a huge line of extra plastic there, and the bottom there, he needs a lot of sanding work to stand properly, because he's got a huge lot of extra plastic just underneath his feet, which is annoying. And I guess if we turn them around, see, and the print job, sorry, I mean, these two have decent printed faces, him too. His face is a bit too high than what it should be, and just printed far too high up. That's not good. Print details, silver is off-centered, Boba Fett here, print is slightly off-centered, and the green isn't even. Again, these 2 guys are printed a bit better, so they might be slightly newer ones compared to these 2. His leg is way off print. The yellow is nowhere near the black outline, and that's quite ugly. I mean, the details are all printed there, they're just not quality controlled correctly. Look at the back here. Yeah, I can say, oh, this guy has back print, so we're gonna have to take a look at that in a moment. But there they are with all of their jetpacks. None of them have any back head prints, and this is the only guy with back body print. And I can say right now that all these figures feel very, the clutches all over the place for the most part. A lot of the joints feel very tight, so they're not that fun to play with. As well as the jetpack neck rings feeling quite tight as well. So if you were just to get this and push it down, if you want to doesn't even want to go all the way down. That's how tight it is. So does that mean that the neck gets wider? The more it goes, the lower it gets. So yeah, tight head. Next up here are the 4 trooper types. Like that one's from like the Yoda Chronicles or something. And yeah, we have a transparent Stormtrooper here, which is kind of cool, except that his legs don't want to plug in here properly, so they're uneven. And his hand right here, the arm is so tight that he doesn't want to go all the way in, and when you try to pull this arm out or try to rotate it, I feel like I'm stretching and breaking the plastic. So that's horrible. That arm desperately needs to have a little bit of either drill, or that hand needs a bit of sanding down. There's also a lot of excess plastic on these guys as well. A bit of extra plastic there on the gun, on top of the helmets. So that's not very good. The head inside the Stormtrooper is transparent, so you don't get a goofy looking face in there, so that's good. And yeah, these are the older Pogo stuff, so they have this square body, which means you can see they're way too loose. from the torso there. Also have the really ugly Stormtrooper face that I don't like, so let's not look at that again. I mean, all the printed details are there. This guy's printed, the body's pretty much printed perfect, and the helmet is pretty nicely done as well. This guy too is printed okay. Legs a bit wonky, and all the other ones have really tight hands as well. The clutch is just not good with these earlier Pogo stuff. The print on these two guys, not so much. This one feels like they didn't put enough paint in there, so the black line and the grey lines look a bit blurred. But all the details are there. Let's see his face. Oh, he's got the blue eyes, and the blue eyes are printed out of the eye circles. That's no good. And this guy here, he's got that ugly face too. So let's quickly look at the back here, and you can see that again they have tried to print the details there, but I don't know. The Stormtroopers look okay. He looks okay there. A bit of a scratch mark there in the lower torso. They printed his butt. No, that's just extra ink. And the brown strap here is no good. So again, they didn't put enough brown there, so it's a bit slightly faded. Yeah, this lot of figures, well, at first when you look at them, they look decent enough as a substitute. The closer you look at them, the more you start to see print issues. And these figures are frustrating to play with some joints being, the hip joints mostly being too loose, but the rest of the hands being far too tight, legs not wanting to stick into Lego too much, and some of the hands are far too tight that the weapons pop out of the hands easily because it's bending the plastic and it's pushing it out. And also I want to say that the antenna on both Boba Fett and Jango, the little peg that plugs into the helmet isn't, again, it's a bit too tight and tends to want to get pushed back out and fall out. So they fall out very easily. So yeah, the print work is okay. They definitely have a lot of issues, especially when you take a closer look. The quality control is just not there with these guys. And I'm happy to say that some of the other Pogo stuff that I have looked at that I will film reviews soon are a lot better than this lot. And Pogo hasn't been around for too long, like maybe just with less than a year, and I'm glad that they've improved a lot, giving us extra options for if we only want to buy minifigures. That's great to play around with, because some of the other brands that I tend to review, Shinyon Diku, have moved on to big sets, which is not that much cheaper than what the original set would be. Minifigures are the things that cost more, so I'm glad there's a new brand that step up to take over just producing minifigures in a decent quality. Unfortunately, their earlier stuff, including this lot right here, is not very good, and as such I can't really recommend them. Like I said, they're not fun to play with. Some of these figures do have copies by other brands already. For example, this guy already has a Shinyon. There's lots of Stormtroopers out there, and this one here has had a Dooku copy, I believe, and this one also had a Dooku, I think. So not all these figures available in other brands. Transparent Stormtrooper would be cool to have a nice one of, but he's not good enough to recommend, despite how nice the idea is. The execution isn't very good. So unfortunately, no, I do not really recommend this lot. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, found it useful, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe button, or leaving a comment below how you feel about these figures, or if you have any of them yourself, any of the other Pogo stuff. You know, talk to people, talk to me. That'd be interesting to know. I see any interesting comments, I tend to reply. I don't reply to first, second, or third comments. Sorry. As always, you can check out my other videos on Bootleg or official Lego and many other kinds of toys on my channel right here. Hopefully with adblock turned off. And you can also support me on Patreon if you guys like to, so I can you know, put more time into these videos, do more on YouTube and stuff. But of course, you don't have to do any of that. Most importantly, may the Force be with you, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye now.